Ice cream truck?
It is our clock. That
Oh,
means it's 2:01. Hello, everybody. We are live. We will be getting started here in a second. So, if you can hear us, how about you put where are you from and how are you feeling in this moment in the chat so we know that you were there. And we are going to get started.
woot woot.
We're going to get started in three, two, one, and hey, everybody, my hands are clean.
My hands are cold.
How goes it? Happy Thursday. We are back. Oh, look at April. April's getting the sanitizer on. We're back with another quickie. It is myself, Gary Ware, and I am joined with the ever so beautiful April Schluter from the Cheerful Mind. Hi, April.
Hi.
Yes, and we are your. Who are we? Who are we?
We are the Accountability Success Circle Success Team leads, and
Yes.
we are just here to bring you a tip. It's been definitely a rocky couple weeks. I think last week I was like, you know what, I'm not feeling it.
Not feeling the quickie. No,
Not feeling
not.
it.
Yeah, just not in the mood.
Yeah, but we are back this week and bringing the happy and playful and cheerful and all those things and just some tips to help you get through your day to day, which is not the normal day to day these days.
Yes, exactly. So, without further ado, this is so interesting that we're talking about this topic, which is flexibility, because I am being forced to be very flexible. In our amazing group, the Accountability Success um, Circle, my brain is just all over the place today. We have monthly themes, and being that we're in April, our theme this month is flexibility. And today we are going to be talking about flexibility and how you can essentially just create more flexible plans because show of hands or put yes that's me in the comments. How many people like over the last like couple of weeks have had to switch things up, or
Over,
move things around,
over,
and
and over, and over,
right,
and over again.
and were you frustrated? I bet you probably were, maybe to a degree. And if you're not, oh my gosh, I want to know what's your plan. But
What's
we have some
your secret?
really cool strategies that will help you. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Number one, and this is a big one, is avoid rigidity. If you are completely rigid when things don't go as planned, because how many things go exactly as planned? Hardly anything, and that's just in a normal time. We're in 2020. We're in the middle of COVID-19. So you just need to have that open mindset and be ready for the unexpected. April, what do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's really, really hard, and this is coming from somebody who is a super planner by trade, and somebody who is a very, I don't know if you want to call it A type, perfectionist, recovering perfectionist. I have my life scheduled to a T in order to be able to do a lot of things, but at the same time, I've learned, especially over the last 5 years, that being rigid doesn't help. It was a lot of it causes a lot of tantrums. It causes a lot of like high stress, which is something I'm not allowed to have anymore to that level. And so flexibility has been something that I have been like, I feel like I've almost been training for something crazy like this to happen. But I mean, at the same time, we can't, nobody ever knew that this is what this was going to be like. But what I'm trying to say is that when I, work with people to create plans for themselves, I always focus on making sure that it's flexible because we never know what's going to happen. And when we are so rigid, we won't be able to pivot as easily if we are rigid. So try as much as possible to have an open mindset, knowing that like, okay, if I have absolutely no barriers in my way, I'm going to go full steam ahead and do these things. But if something happens, then I need to know where my priorities lie so that I can make a pivot and, and take a step back when I need to. So
Agreed. Yes. And at the end of the day, just realize you can only control what you can control.
totally.
And some things are outside of our control. And for those things, we have to let them go.
Let
Easier
it
said than done.
go. Let it
Yes.
go.
Let it go, let it go, let it go. And that brings us to tip numero dos. And that is buffer, buffer, buffer. Especially in this time of wackiness, you need to have you have to have windows uh, to allow for when these things happen. You can shift things back and forth. We don't know what's going to happen. You have to leave space for that unknown. And, at the end of the day, there are going to be mistakes. We're working from home. Things may, happen. There might be an issue with the internet because it seems like everyone is working from home. Internet's super slow. Everyone is streaming the Tiger King on Netflix. I hear that's the thing that's going on right now.
I have to watch that. I feel
I
like
know. I
haven't gotten into it yet.
ditto. What do you got, April?
So when we talk about avoiding rigidity from the first one, that was thinking, having the mindset to be open and to be flexible. But the buffering tip is more of a logistical type of thing, right? I mean, I always talk about buffer in the sense of creating space in your calendar, or making sure that you're not like slamming or double booking or whatever that is. So the actual logistical piece of creating space. So if you are somebody who needs a 5 minute break in between meetings, give yourself that 15-minute buffer before you schedule your next meeting, just so that you have that time to breathe. Because and I think that this whole situation has forced us all to move just a little bit slower. We might gain time in the loss of commutes and the loss of, having to get dressed and ready for work every day. But even more so, everybody's still adjusting to this, temporarily new way of life, and everyone is being forced to move slower. So give yourself that grace and that space. Ooh, that rhymes. To allow yourself to pivot easily, because you never know. Like, something could be happening on the news right now that we don't know about, because I haven't been looking at the internet. And you might have to pivot a whole bunch of things that you were planning. So if you don't have that space, you're not able to, shift very quickly. I tried to turn that alarm off before we started, but
It's all good. And
it's all
then that brings us to the third one. We're going to get frustrated and we're going to get angry. But at the end of the day, who like who is that helping? And so this is a really cool tip that we got from the book Chief Joy Oliver mentioned this, and I am trying to live this as a practice. But it is when furious, get curious. At the end of the day, you're going to have that initial sort of reaction. Maybe it's frustration, maybe it's anger when anything happens. And once you like sort of can just, all right, I'm angry, instead of like maybe going off the handle, start asking questions. What is this inviting to my life? Ask if it's regarding another person. You can say, well, what do they need right now? How can you just do that? And that can bring up, just put you in a place of empathy, because at the end of the day, when we start to get angry, we are triggering our flight, fight, or freeze part of the brain. And when that happens, all of the blood is flowing from like your brain and all these other things to your outer extremities. So you could run, so you could fight, and you're not going to be thinking as rational. And so by just starting to get curious will help you just sort of resettle, chill. And just in the word of improvisation, we say hey, there are no mistakes, just gifts. So what is the gift in this, and what can we learn from this? April, what do you got?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think there's something's always got to give, right? We want to just make sure that, and sometimes these things are going to frustrate us. We can't just, sugarcoat everything. Or by no means are we saying that, that you can't allow yourself to feel your feelings, but um, there's always there's always a learning from anything that we all don't like change, right? So if it's going to make us angry, we can allow ourselves to take a step back and just kind of think about what is it that's making this a non-ideal situation, or what is triggering us, because with that trigger we'll be able to identify then, are there processes that we want to put in place moving forward so that if this were to happen again, that we don't fall into that trap and fall into those feelings. So, I mean, I think everything that Gary and I do, especially with improv, is in our wheelhouse. We tend to wing things a lot, and winging it is like not something that was in my vocabulary even just a few years ago. But being, understanding that we're going to do something and it's not going to be perfect, but letting that show up, letting that mistake or letting that incident show up so that we could learn from it, rather than just trying to over anticipate every little thing that might happen. Then it's we're allowing ourselves to share things with the world a lot quicker, and just knowing that mistakes are just a way of, a part of life, and it's completely normal and everybody does them. So it's just a matter of if you're okay with letting people see that, if you're doing something that is very visible. So that's all I had to share. But
Yeah. So hopefully that was helpful. Love to hear from you. Like, how are you allowing yourself to be flexible? Are you finding that you need to be more flexible? Leave it in the comments. And, with that, this has been another ASC Success Quickie. We are your accountability success team. And if you, are looking for a refuge away from crazy Facebook or Twitter or whatnot of people that got your back, that want to help you, you know, support you, help you grow, look us up, accountabilitysuccesscircle.com.
yeah.
And we are putting a whole bunch of really cool content in there, a lot of virtual experiences. April's doing a talent show this weekend,
2 days.
right? And so this is why we're here. We're here to be that safe haven, to help you. What is it, April? Get more done while having some fun.
Yeah, get some stuff done, have some fun, and just be completely supported and be surrounded by positive people. Of course, it's one of those times right now where people are having their ups and downs, and we're not trying to sugarcoat that at all. I, have shed some tears on and off throughout the last couple of weeks, grieving some of the things that have had to be postponed, but we're all doing it, and we're all trying our best to look at the positives, because that's what's going to get us through this. And we'll get back on track. It's just, this is a little blip, and this is just something that is testing our resilience, which was another theme that we had in a previous month. So I feel like
Yes.
that was really helpful that we explored that topic before all this happened. So yeah, feel free to check us out. And we're just, an online community that is just trying to help you live your best life. So until the next time, we will see you on another quickie.
Right.
And wash your hands
Yes. Stay well.
and keep your distance.
Yes. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.